Hello there, people of the internet. It's your boy, the CEO of Dunban Donuts here. And today I'm going to come at you with a more lighthearted video, something I don't normally do, but I want to take a stab at, and that is a team building guide. Now, first and foremost, let me get this out of the way. I am not in any way a tryhard. I'm not going to tell you any correct way to play the game. I'm not here to min-max damage values and show you the most optimal way to play this game. I'm just out here to have fun. I'm out here to maybe help newer players who might have been struggling with figuring out how to make certain characters and teams work, or just figuring out characters beyond the basic meat and potatoes team that they have of like Shulk, Ryan, and Charla, and maybe, having a little fun twist to it too. And plus I did want to do this for the memes. So with that said, this team is one of first that I want to do. If you like the video, let me know. I'll do more stuff like this. I definitely have more teams in mind. This is kind of a pilot one, and it obviously revolves around everyone's favorite hero of the Homs, the man, the myth, the legend,
The stoic and the inscrutable Duncan.
the one man that IGN got horribly, horribly wrong in their review. And if you don't like the, Bionis runs on Duncan line for the team that I have here, you can always just interchange it with Dunban. I just do it because it's funny. In any case, this team revolves around Dunban. And it's very simple. You're going to have Dunban be both your tank and your main damage dealer. He's going to be the focal point of this team, and everyone around him is going to provide direct support for him. Now, there are two different variations of this team. One for when you are fighting physical enemies, and one for when you are fighting nebula or ether-based enemies. I'll show you both variations and how they work. And first, we're going to start off with the physical one. We'll start off with equipment. So we're not going to be running Naked Dunban this time, and that is mainly because Naked Dunban can be a little unpredictable. I like it a lot, I think it's funny. But if you just have really good agility up gems, you should be fine with agility tanking. Plus, we're going to have a lot of external sources that you'll see later that will provide direct support for Dunban in order for him to agility tank. He's not going to need to be naked and get that 30% bonus. He'll be fine without it. So first, what I like to equip on his weapons are agility down, so he can, his auto attack can occasionally provide agility down to an enemy, so he can be better at agility tanking, because he'll have an agility stat that's higher than theirs. I like topple +4, that way when he goes from electric gutbuster to steel strike, he can keep the enemy toppled for a prolonged period of time, which helps him do more DPS. I like double attack 4, so he gets his talent gauge filled up more, and he has a higher chance of causing agility down on the enemy. And then, typically, with the bottom two here, I would likely equip more agility up gems, but I'm going to be fighting a spike damage enemy just to prove that you don't really need Shulk in his Monado Purge in order to fight a lot of spike damage enemies. This team could work for it. I'll show you. Trust me, but if you're not going to be fighting any spike damage enemies, I recommend switching out spike defense for agility up gems, or strength up gems, depending on what you're feeling. Next we have Melia. Now AI Melia here will be providing direct support to Dunban, and I think this actually works out fairly well. She'll be the second kind of backup to your team. Here I have her with Art Stealth 4 and 3, that way if AI Melia decides to go Unga Bunga and just throws out all of her elements and Mind Blast all at once, she doesn't get aggroed and she doesn't die. And we can be perfectly fine with her just living and going through the fight. I also just equip Ether Up 4s on her, because honestly, like, having the Ether Up damage for her is a lot better than just, anything else you could probably do. Then we have Charla. Charla will be directly healing Dunban if he gets hit. She will also be providing a boost to tension for the party, so we have an easier chance of building up party gauge. Now, I just have auto attack, stealth, and lock on resist on her. That way she just doesn't get touched by most enemies whenever she's doing auto attack. I have tension swing gems, so she's able to keep raising tension in the party, especially with her heat bullet. And that's pretty much the crux of it. She's going to be spending most of her time healing, though. Moving on from that, let's talk about skill trees. So I like Dunban's Wisdom skill tree the most, purely because it boosts his agility. Gives you a lot of agility bonuses when your HP's at half. It reduces the weight of your equipment. It's just all a good tree for agility tanking Dunban. I prefer it over any of the other skill trees he has, even the other two later on that he gets in the game. For Melia, I like Reticence, purely because of what I don't have yet, which is the passive aggro down when an aura is active. I'm going to wait for when we get that, but that's going to make a lot of things easier for us so she doesn't draw aggro, because if Melia gets hit, then the fight's over and we're all dead. And then for Charla, I like Devotion. Again, purely because of the final one she gets here, where she reduces the cooldown of all of her healing arts. That's just Charlotte in a nutshell. You want her to be healing your teams. Next, let's get into arts here. Now, there's two variations for Dunban's arts here, but this is the one that we're going to be using with this team here specifically. Now, it's all fairly straightforward. You're just going to want to be doing all the damage that you possibly can, and you're going to want to have at least one aura on. I like 2 for this specific scenario, but you can honestly interchange them based on which one you prefer more. I like Serene Heart and Peerless. Serene Heart will just increase your agility stat. It's pretty good. And then Peerless will increase your strength. Both of which are pretty strong. You could switch out Peerless or Serene Heart, honestly, for Battle Eye. That way he could just purely focus on enemies. Or you could do it with Blinding Blossom, that way he absorbs aggro from any character that may be, drawing too much aggro. But I haven't had an issue with Dunban not drawing aggro, since I'm just spamming his arts constantly, and he's already doing the most damage that he possibly can. So, along with that, you want the basic Dunban combo stuff. Gale Slash to Electric Gutbuster to Steel Strike. That way you can topple enemies. For when you fight Ether enemies, you want to do Gale Slash to Tempest Kick to Thunder. This will guarantee daze any monster that is not a unique. Some monsters will actually get dazed too that are uniques, but it's very rare that they will. And whenever you can't do Gale Slash to Electric Gutbuster, I recommend doing Gale Slash to Worldly Slash, because it just does a lot of damage. For Melia. Now, Melia is kind of going to be a special case here. You want to equip her with only 2 different types of summons. You want to give her Summon Wind and Summon Flare. Summon Wind will obviously give her a bonus to, will give her and everyone around her, a bonus to Agility. It could usually be up to 30%, which is the bonus Dunban would get naked anyway, but because of how Unga Bunga she can be, I would just suspect it'll be maybe plus 20% agility bonus, which is perfectly fine. That's good. And then we give her Summon Flare, that way she has something else to do, and she can also store up a bonus for Strength Up, which will help Dunban draw aggro, and will help Dunban do a lot of damage. Then I just have kind of the rest on for filler, Hypnotize, in case maybe she gets hit and she wants to, put enemies to sleep. Shadow Stitch, if she wants to restrict an enemy's movement so she can run away. Mind Blast, because Mind Blast is absolutely stupid. And Burst End, because Burst End is also absolutely stupid. I also have on her Healing Gift. Healing Gift will be useful in a pinch if, say, Charlotte can't heal Dunban, and Dunban maybe is taking a little too much damage, so Melia could just sacrifice some of her health, give it to him. He gets support. Again, this is a Dunban support team, first and foremost. Okay. Finally, we will talk about Charla here, and what Charla's abilities will be, and the impact she'll have on combat. So as you can see, I only have one offensive ability on Charla, and that's because this is going to be a Dunban support team. That one offensive ability is Head Shaker. That way, whenever Dunban topples an enemy, she can daze it immediately after, and we can get extended topple duration. Beyond that, we're going to just be applying all of her basic heal stuff Heal Blast, Shield Bullet, which will protect you from any spike damage, by the way. If you didn't know that, Shield Bullet will just shield you for the duration that it's active from spike damage in general. It's actually pretty great. And it's something that I will use in this fight, or I will hope Charlotte will use in this fight ahead. Heal Bullet, again, for heals. Covert Stance, so she can drop her aggro if she ever gets, too much aggro from healing. Heat Bullet to increase the tension of the party. That's why it's easier to fill our party gauge and get more button prompts throughout the match. And then Drive Boost, so she can just get all the cooldowns on her arts that she uses back much quicker. And Heal Round, so she can heal everyone. Now, you can run with Heal Counter, but honestly, Heal Counter isn't really worth it, because Dunban's not going to be getting hit very often. So, like, he's not really going to have much damage to heal back. So, that's up to you, though. It's if you want to do it. Okay, with that said, we're going to start off by fighting. If you guys have watched my latest stream highlights video, I recently fought a unique X that was Lightspeed Snotted, and it beat my ass for 5 hours straight. And I finally beat it with like a clutch rollout with the boys, Dunban, Ryan, and Shulk. I just did mad damage onto it. This time we are going to go into the fight. I believe actually we're either going to be equal level to it. Before I was 2 levels above it. Equal level to it with this party. I'm going to prove to you guys that this works. I will not struggle with it, I swear. Okay, let's start.
Let's go. Display no mercy. Don't let a single one escape. I feel my power returning. Returning to your full now.
So as you see, Charlotte's protection is just completely protecting me from spike damage at the moment. It's gone now though. Okay. First we do Gale Slash. We put up the chain attack. Hit it with Electric Gutbuster. Then we have Melia fire off Summon Wind. I don't know why she's taking so much damage. I think she's just been hitting the thing, even though she shouldn't be. And then we'll have Charlotte do a heal round, because I don't know why Melia is taking so much damage right now. Okay. From there we go into Steel Strike. Topple it down. Okay. Okay.
The next one will hit.
Okay.
Agreed. My rifle's getting hotter.
Just gotta wait for Gale Slash to get up. Okay. From here we're gonna go into Electric Gutbuster. Melia still hasn't had her thing up yet, so I'm just gonna do Summon Wind. And then Charla, what will you do? We'll have Charla do Shield Bullet. That way, I just don't take damage. Oh, it passes it back. Okay, nice. Then topple him. Then we're gonna do Blinding Blossom, and it should kill him. He's almost dead. Okay, he's dead now. Voila! A boss that I struggled with for 5 hours straight and barely killed in my initial playthrough. Dead very, very quickly, very, very effectively. It's quite beautiful, actually. So, as you can see, this works with unique monsters that do spike damage. Something that, for many people, you're afraid to not use Shulk because he has Monado Purge, and it's easy to just get rid of the aura for. But you can still do it, guys. You can still do it. Now, Next, I'm going to show you the second variation of this team. It's only minorly different, and the effective uses for it. So, I'll be right back. Okay, now we're in Valak Mountain. So I can't get Flabbergasted Jerome to spawn in Erisea for some reason. So I'm just going to show you that you can actually roll with this team, or a variation of this team, that can deal very, very easily with ether damage and ether users, and I'm going to show you how. So essentially, this is going to be the same team it was before, but we swap out Charla for Ryan. Very, very simple. Here's what you do. So with Ryan, okay, we're going to give him mostly heavy armor, but most of the heavy armor in the game does not contain armor slots, most of the heavy armor in the game does not contain gem slots. And the problem is, the heavy armor also reduces physical damage, not ether damage, so Ryan's kind of not fundamentally built to be an ether tank, but he can be an ether tank. It is very, very possible. The thing that you have to do, though, is just put on medium armor for him. So, put on medium armor, equip him with ether defense up gems and recovery up gems. He still has his massive HP stat, he still has his beefed out defense stat, but on top of that, he has a pretty solid ether defense stat. He's going to be drawing the aggro here, so that Dunban can do the damage in the background, and Melia can provide buffs to both of the characters. For Ryan's skill tree, I like Enthusiasm, purely because it draws more aggro to enemies, enemies to him, so he can become more of an aggro tank than anything else, and he can take the aggro away from Dunban. Now for arts. So for arts, all we're really going to be changing with Dunban is we're going to be swapping out one of the two, either Peerless or Serene Heart. For Heat Haze, I would take out Serene Heart because you're not going to be agility tanking, so the agility stat bonus isn't really going to matter in the slightest. You want Heat Haze, that way it just removes all of Dunban's aggro, and all the aggro goes straight to Ryan. Melia is essentially, for right now, going to be staying the exact same. We can adjust her though, but I prefer to just keep on Summon Flare and Summon Wind. And then with Ryan, fairly simple kind of tanky Ryan build. You want Lariat to do massive damage. You want Aura Burst to reduce enemy strength. You want Last Stand, so in case he dies, he just comes right back. Sword Drive, because Sword Drive does massive damage, and you never want to not put Sword Drive on. Engage, that way he can draw the enemy's aggro to him. While down, so you can follow up on topples with Dunban. On top of Shield Bash, which increases, he can daze on top of that as well. And then War Swing, so he can do AoE damage and fill up his talent gauge, therefore getting more aggro. Very, very simple. Alright, now, I'm not going to fight this Nebula here, only because he inflicts Art Seal, and I don't have anything that can prevent Art Seal on my team right now, so I really don't want to fight him. So what we're going to do is we're just going to draw it forward with an Aura here. Topple it while down, yep. This is a little awkward, purely because the fight's really not happening at a good angle. There we go. Just like that, fairly simple. Oh, I may have forgotten to mention, I think I did though, but the reason why we have let's see here. The reason why we have Dunban equipped with Tempest Kick and Thunder is purely to fight enemies like the Nebula that really only can take ether damage and don't and can just eat up your physical damage. Tempest Kick will remove buffs and does a lot of ether-based damage, but I believe it's based on Dunban's physical stat, so it's still strength stat. So it doesn't take ether stat, but it does ether damage. Thunder is essentially used right after Tempest Kick, because how Thunder works is Dunban has to be positioned so that the enemy is behind him in order to use Thunder, because it comes out in a cone behind him. So Tempest Kick puts him in that position where he flips around, and then for a fraction of a second you can use Thunder, and then Thunder is a follow-up. Thunder will automatically daze, as you may have seen in that fight there to one of the Nebulas. It will automatically daze any enemy that it hits, buys you a couple seconds, and can maybe stop a future sight from happening too. Again, as you can see, the team works for being able to take down ether damage monsters and physical damage monsters. It all depends on how you roll it, what you want to do. And again, it's all a team based around Dunban being your main party member, your main damage dealer, your main tool for wrecking face. Again, thank you for watching the video. If you like this type of content, please let me know. See, even Dunban likes it. If you like this type of content, please let me know. I want to do more types of videos like this. It's a fun little thing, fun little experiment to do. In any case, thank you guys for watching. See you all in the next one.